The iron horse screamed across the plains, wheels grinding, smoke belching into the hot Texas sky. Inside the rattling passenger car, Clara Avery pressed her trembling hands against the bars of the baggage compartment. She had been shackled by men hired to return her east, a widowed schoolteacher accused of crimes she did not commit, framed by a wealthy railroad tycoon who wanted her silenced. Her eyes darted to the open door where guards laughed, rifles across their knees. The train curved, swaying dangerously. Clara felt the wheels beneath her pounding like a war drum. And then, summoning every last shred of courage, she ran. One guard shouted, "Stop her!" But Clara didn't. She leapt. The world blurred, wind tearing at her dress, dust blasting her face, as she hurled herself from the moving train. Pain exploded through her body as she hit the hard earth, rolling and tumbling down the slope until everything went black. When she woke, she was surrounded by silence. The train was gone, its smoke just a shadow on the horizon. She tried to rise, but her ankle screamed in protest. That's when she heard it, a small voice. "Papa, don't let her die." Clara blinked, vision swimming. Standing above her was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, with dark braids and wide, worried eyes. Behind her loomed a tall man on horseback, broad-shouldered, his weathered face stern but steady. His skin bore the sun's bronze, and his black hair flowed beneath a headband. A Comanche. He dismounted in silence, kneeling by Clara, his hand hovering above her bruises as if deciding whether she was worth saving. The little girl clutched his sleeve. "Please, Papa. She's hurt." His eyes softened, just slightly. He slid his arms beneath Clara, lifting her effortlessly. "You are far from your people," he said in low, accented English. Clara tried to speak, but her throat was too dry. She could only whisper, "Thank you." They carried her to a small camp tucked between cottonwoods along the riverbank. The man, whom the girl called Comanche, tended her wounds with practiced hands. He said little, but his daughter, Naya, filled the silence with questions. "Why did you jump? Were bad men chasing you? Will they come here?" Clara managed a weak smile. "Yes, bad men. But I don't want them to find you." Naya's little chin lifted defiantly. "My papa won't let them." Comanche glanced at Clara, eyes sharp. "The white man's troubles are dangerous. They bring blood." Clara lowered her gaze. "I never wanted this. But they'll keep coming until they bury me." For a long moment, the Comanche warrior studied her. Then he said, "Then we will not let them." Days passed. Clara's strength returned beneath the watchful care of father and daughter. She learned that Comanche had once been a scout for the U.S. Army, betrayed by the very men who promised him peace. Now he lived apart, protecting his daughter from both worlds. When Clara confessed her story, the tycoon's lies, the bounty on her head, Comanche listened in silence. At last he said, "The man who hunts you is no different than those who stole my land. Greed wears many faces." Naya, listening with wide eyes, clutched Clara's hand. "Then we fight him together." And so they did. When the train returned weeks later, bringing hired guns to scour the plains, Comanche and Clara were ready. Hidden among the rocks, he used his bow and rifle to strike with deadly precision, while Clara, finally free of her shackles, fought with a courage she never knew she had. The ambush left the tycoon's men broken and scattered. Only one rode back east with a message: the schoolteacher was no longer prey, and the Comanche warrior would defend her like his own blood. That night, as the firelight danced in the camp, Naya rested her head on Clara's lap. "She's our family now, isn't she, Papa?" the girl murmured sleepily. Comanche looked at Clara across the flames, his dark eyes unreadable. But he gave the smallest nod. "Yes," he said softly. "Family." And for the first time in years, Clara felt safe, not because she had escaped the train, but because she had found a new home, born from courage, kindness, and a child's simple plea. "Papa, don't let her die."